Hey friends, have you watched that movie of Jack, the soldier? Recently, I went Delhi for an event, and I was doing time pass in that hotel. And for that, I turned the TV on and this movie was aired. If you don't know the story, then let me tell you in brief. Jack had a bad habit of getting angry. He gets angry on every small matter, due to which he is sent back for anger management. And unless he goes through anger management, till then he can't come back for duty, and his dream can't get fulfilled. Then there is scene in the movie when Jack gets angry on his psychologist, who is his father. His father gives him a challenge. He says, there is a concept in psychology. If you have to bring a good habit in your life, or if you want to quit a bad habit, then you have to make it last for 21 days. And if you do that for 21 days, then it would become your habit. There, Jack gets a challenge to control anger for 21 days. He was able to do it or not. You watch it in the movie if you are interested. But the thing is this the concept of 21 days real? Well, it is true in a way and false also. But you can make any habit in 21 days. That is a myth. But yes, it is right to some extent. A study was done and it was turned out that if you have to make or quit any habit, then it can take up to 18 days to 256 days. Obviously, we are not going to do a challenge of 256 days. We would do a challenge of minimum 21 days, according to this movie also. And I think if you can do something for 21 days, then there are high chances that you would be able to do that for 200 days. That's why, in this video, I would like you to take a 21 days challenge. And I would also take, what is the challenge about? Challenge is about quitting some bad habits and adding some good habits in your life. Like in this movie, Jack had bad habit of anger, due to which he was not able to reach his goals. To be very honest, there are 9 such mistakes in our life. 9 such bad habits, which aren't letting us move forward in life, and they have made our brain congested. You can say, they aren't letting our brain work on ultimate performance. One of the most common question you ask me, that's, sir, how can we handle procrastination in Iran? How can we kill laziness in Iran? How can we bring focus in our life to achieve our goals in Iran? Trust me, if you take this video seriously, and if you take the challenge of what I am going to tell you, then one thing would come in your life that would kill all these things. What is that thing? That is energy. Trust me. If you want to do any good thing in your life, you need energy for that. And the more energy you have, the higher the chances are that you would achieve big things. For that, I am going to tell you 9 such bad things, which have become common, due to which our energy level is getting ruined, due to which we are procrastinating. We are not able to focus, and all problems are coming. I know, you won't be able to do these habits in 21 days challenge, but I would like you to choose 3 of these habits. I would also choose 3 habits, which I will follow in coming 21 days. And I would like you to choose 3 habits. What are those habits which I would choose? I would tell you that in the end of the video. You also comment below and tell which habits you are going to work upon. Now let's come the first bad habit, which we have to remove from our life, which is social isolation. You would remember, there was lockdown a few years ago, and how bad everyone's conditions were. Everything was going bad, and one issue that everyone was facing, even after Corona, that was the problem of social isolation. In fact, you know, according to a report of WHO, due to lockdown worldwide, anxiety and depression increased by 25% in worldwide population. And not just that, you know, when you are lonely, your white blood cells change their behavior, due to which, instead of helping you, due to Embark, immune response system starts getting weakening. That means you can say, if you have less social connections in life, then it starts ruining your immunity. Whereas on the other hand, those who are socially active, they live longer and healthier life. They get sleep well, and if they get any disease, they heal quickly. Similarly, those who don't have much friends in life, they fall sick quickly. Chronic illness increases. In some cases, it was also noticed those who are socially isolated, the risk of their mortality are sometimes higher. That those who smoke or have high cholesterol. All these facts conclude that. See, I know there is a trend going on that I have to live solo. Everyone got their mobile. They keep using it, and they don't interact socially. But trust me, It is not good for your mental and physical health. A little solitude is good, about which I have made videos, but it doesn't mean that you isolate yourself completely. Remember, there must be a balance of everything, and anything in extreme is bad, whether it is loneliness or extreme socialences. Don't do anything in extreme, but at least socialize, because it is seen. According to the report of University of Michigan, if you talk to a special person for just 10 minutes, whom you value, or you have good connection with, then it improves your memory and cognitive functions, and it would also improve your overall health. This is the first habit which you can try in coming 21 days. Socialize. Talk to your friends, parents, and don't go in isolation. Now let's come the second habit. Now let me give you two options, and you have to choose one out of two options. First option is, you have to walk for 6.5 hours per day, and then you have to take a break of 1-2 hours for sitting. This option, or the second option is, you have to sit for 6.5 hours, and then you have to walk for 1-2 hours. Which option would you choose? Maximum people would choose second option, where they are getting chance to sit, right? But what if I tell you, this option is very dangerous for you? According to a study of 2018 Plows one study, your brain starts changing due to long time sitting. Medial temporal lobe, which is useful for creating new memories, starts getting thinner, due to which cognitive ability starts declining, and it can cause dementia. Long time sitting, the tissues and nerves around the joint starts getting damaged. If I give you a personal example, my dad is a taxi driver. He started getting a lot of problems in knees earlier. When I was immature, he sits whole day. He shouldn't have such problem because he doesn't use it, but actually, because he didn't use his legs so much. He didn't walk much. That's why he started getting so much problems. And this was seen in multiple studies. Long sitting can cause liver, kidney, and heart-related diseases. In fact, there is a shocking data which tells 9% premature deaths happen because of inactivity, which are around 5 million people. It is a very big thing. Sitting seems a very normal thing, because this is how our lifestyle has become. But this is really harmful. If you see from evolutionary perspective, our body has around 360 joints, 700 skeleton muscles, and our overall body is made for standing or walking. You see, our body structure is made much better for keep standing and going against gravity. And when we are standing, only then there is good blood circulation in our body. Our body parts gets oxygen well, and many such things happen when we are standing instead of sitting. That's why this is the challenge in coming 21 days. That maybe walking for 6.5 hours isn't possible, but you at least start standing for 2 to 3 hours daily. If you have smartwatch, you can set in that. If you don't have, then you can set the timer. Or I would suggest you to start doing things standing you used to do sitting. So, this thing would improve your overall health and energy. Now let's come to the third habit. Let's understand with an example. Suppose there is a person who has purchased a new car. Okay, the car is quite good but ran out of petrol. But the petrol pump is far away. So what that person thinks, petrol pump is far away, I don't want to go there. You have a lot of water available. Let me put water into the car and drive the car. You tell. What would happen if that person does it? Do you think that car would get turned on? Obviously, the car won't get turned on. Second, do you think that it would damage the car? Obviously, yes. Similarly, I have noticed a lot of people ask me question also, or my students, they ask me question, where they always try to find out a shortcut, an easy way. People want shortcut in everything, which can do things instantly. They want to find out an exercise that will make them slim in a week. They want to find out a way of making money, which can make them millionaire or billionaire in a month. But trust me, put hand on your heart and ask yourself, is money making or doing hard things, or things worth achieving so easy? Well, mostly it doesn't happen like this. Third habit it. Please don't try to find shortcuts in your life. Our mind is made to solve complicated things. But what we are doing these days, we are not using our brain properly. It is like we have a good car, but we are not putting right petrol in it. We are not feeding right things. Do you think that would run perfectly? Obviously not. If you want your brain to function well, and give the best output, and give you good energy, then use it like that. Don't use it just for releasing dopamine and other unnecessary things. Habit no. 3, which you have to quit in life. Stop taking shortcuts. Put your brain on work. Give it complicated problems so that it can function well. Now let's come to habit no. 4. Does it happen to you that you feel very lazy? You feel bad? You get anxious, or you feel depressed or low? With how many people this happens? Do tell by commenting. Trust me, it happens with me many times, and I have noticed, let me tell you when it happens, whenever I am physically inactive, and whenever I start doing exercise. But yes, in limit. Only then I notice that my mood gets elevated. Why does it happen? Because exercise helps in regulating mood, apart from losing weight, skin health, and many other benefits. One of the major benefits of exercise, it elevates your mood and energy. And as I told you in the video, if the energy level is high, only then you would be able to do big things. In fact, there is a book named Spark by John Rady. It is a very interesting book and I would suggest you to study. I have made its summary also. Watch it from my button. In that book, the author shares an interesting research of Naperville High School, where an experiment was done on school students. The class students were divided into 2 groups. The first group was asked to do intense exercise to increase the heart rate, and the second group was asked not exercise. You have to sleep well, and you have to wake up well. When the tests of both groups were taken, the result was that first group saw an increase of 70%, whereas the same number was 10% in second group, in results after studies. That's why it is simple habit which you must have listened thousands of times. Would have listened in my videos also. But it is very important to listen again. If you haven't started applying, that is start exercising. In coming 21 days, start doing exercise for 15-30 minutes. Push-ups, pull-ups, planks, scouts. If you want, you can do all these things at home also. Try to do 30 minutes exercise at home. And if you do it every morning, then trust me, you will feel energetic whole day. Would get confidence. That would help you work more. Then let's come to habit no. 5, which you have to quit. That is zombie scrolling. Recently, as I told you that I went in an event. When that event was going on, many big businessmen had come there. Many intellectual people came who had good knowledge and good things, which they were teaching related to business. But when I turned back, what I noticed almost 50% of them were scrolling on their mobile. How many times it happens with us that we fight or anything happens, we feel depressed or feel bad, then we instantly start scrolling on our mobile. Well, it happens with me many times. I am sure it would happen to you also. But trust me, it is very harmful for your brain and energy also. That's why you can take this challenge to stop zombie scrolling. Let's imagine what would happen if you do this scientifically. What would be its results? When you start keeping your phone away, then you would get a strong urge within an hour. In fact, you would try to take your phone 3-4 times in 1 hour, because it is seen an average person picks his phone 52 times in a day. If you survive for 12 hours, then you would start feeling more anxious because you won't be able to use your phone. The cortisol level in your brain would start increasing, which is a stress hormone. If you don't use your mobile for 24 hours, then you would start feeling FOMO. You would feel that you are missing something important in life. Like you are running behind a train. Your heart rate can increase suddenly. Your blood pressure would increase. And maybe your anxiety would increase. But if you don't scroll on mobile for 3 days, then you would start feeling positive. Your relationships would start getting better because you would start focusing on relationship and talking to people. You would start observing others well. And after 5 days, you would notice your attention span would start increasing. You would start focusing more on everything. Like, for example, if we're able to study for 10 minutes without any distraction, but now it would increase up to 15 to 20 minutes. And within 5 to 7 days, your cognitive functions would start improving. In 1 week, your sleep quality would improve because according to a study, because of more exposure of screen light, your sleep rhythm gets ruined. And similarly, If you continue for 2 weeks using mobiles less, then your anxiety would reduce a lot. Raider, according to a research, because of absence of a phone, the symptoms of depression would start decreasing. Along with that, your neck and wrist pain would also decrease. I know. Maybe you wouldn't be able to quit mobile completely, because maybe you would work with mobile and many other things, like I also do. That's why, in coming 21 days, try to delete Wonder apps, or lock them, or quit using them completely. Trust me, if you do it for 21 days, then it would save a lot of time. Many people say that I don't have time. You think that you don't have time, but trust me, scrolling takes most of our time. It would save that time. I have noticed it personally, so must do this habit. Next habit is poor sleeping pattern. There is an interesting book by Nick Hall, PhD, named Do You Know What to Do? So why don't I do it tonight, Ran? In that book, author talks about a lot of habits, in which I have talked about most of them in this video. And one of them he talks about is sleep. He tells that an extensive research was done on soldiers to see how much they would able to perform if they don't get sleep. You know what the result was? If people don't get good sleep for 24 hours or 48 hours, then soldiers would perform, but their judgment would be bad. Means that if soldiers are given order to shoot people, then they would shoot, but their judgment would be bad. Whether they have to kill their own side or other side, they can do mistake in that thing. In fact, it was also turned out in the research. If the judgment of people gets ruined so much because of no sleep, even those who drink alcohol do not have it. In this book, the author tells, we take sleep lightly. If there is limitation of time, or have to study more, or have to do anything, then the first thing they sacrifice first is their sleep. Whereas according to the research, whenever we are deprived of sleep, then our cognitive functions, our ability of performance, productivity, declines drastically. That's why he also gives a solution in the book, that sometimes it's better to sleep half an hour early than sleeping late. You would know. There are 4 stages in the sleep cycle. One of them is REM sleep, and rest 3 are non-REM sleep, which are called non, 2, and 3. The non-REM sleep is very important for us, which comes in the starting of our sleep cycle. And usually our sleep cycles are up to 90 to 110 minutes. That's why the author of this book say that you try to complete your sleep in this cycle. Like, if you wake up at 8 a.m. and you feel very tired, then try to wake up at 8:30 a.m. and check how your energy is at that time. Many a time, our sleep cycle doesn't get completed, which makes us feel tired. So, in coming 21 days, try it also. Now let's come the number 7 habit. Some time ago, my eating habit got very bad. And it doesn't mean that I am eating junk food. What and how much I am eating that got ruined. Sometimes, I didn't eat anything, but sometimes, I used to eat a lot, and it is very bad for our brain and body as well. Have you ever noticed that you stay hungry a lot? And when you start eating food, after that you feel very good, but then you start feeling lazy. Why does it happen? Usually it happens because when we eat excessive food, then a hormone named serotonin gets released in our brain. And this hormone is used to balance our moods. When it is released excessively, we are not able to control our mood, and we feel very lazy. If you want to keep getting a constant flow of energy, then never do this mistake, that either you don't eat food, or if you are eating, then eat excessively. Don't do that. The best option for you is to keep eating less food. That will keep giving you a constant level of energy, and you neither would feel very lazy, nor it would increase so much energy. That would increase serotonin and you would feel lazy. A psychologist of Brain Research Institute of UCLA, Aaron, did a research by which he came to know that the junk food which we keep eating normally won't just harm our stomach, but also it can shrink our brain. I gave you an example that if you have a good car and you put water instead of petrol, then what would happen? It is confirmed that it won't move. Rather, it would get damaged also. Similar thing happens when we eat junk food. That's why I would suggest you to start saying no to junk food for next 21 days. Now let's come to the habit number 8, which you have to quit. I keep doing live classes with my students. They ask me questions and I give them answer. Recently, I was talking to a student who was very upset. He was upset because he wanted to a lot of great things in his life, but he's saying that he was not able to achieve all these things. I think that I can do a lot in my life, can make a lot of money, can fulfill all my dreams, but I am not where I want to be. And for that, I don't know what to do. When I talked to him, I realized one thing, that one big mistake he was doing. That is information overloading. He was reading a lot of books, watching a lot of videos, was learning a lot of things. But the level at which he was learning things, he was not executing those things at any level. And it was creating all these problems. Trust me, today's time has never been in the whole history. We used to live a very simple life earlier. Hunting, farming, talking to people. And we used to get very limited information. But in last some decades, so many things got changed because of internet. Such high level of information keep coming to us. Then our brain has gotten bombarded. It has gotten overwhelmed. No matter how powerful a machine is, there is a limit of everything. Our brain is very powerful, but it also has a limit of processing and understanding the information. But the limit from which we are getting information daily, which is making us paralyzed, not letting us take action, because we are getting confused, that what we have to do and what not. This is also good. That is also good. Many people are telling many good things, like for example, Glenn Wilson, the psychology professor of Gresham College, came to know from his research, when we are in such a situation where we need focus, and suppose the phone is kept there, on which even if a notification comes, or any new information comes, on which we pay our attention, then this one thing can reduce our IQ by 10%. And I am telling you about this one notification. These days, don't know how much information, ads we get to see. It is good to learn things, but don't do it excessive. It's okay to watch a few videos, but if you are consuming the content for hours, it will cause information overload, due to which your brain won't work well. Similarly, if you open multiple apps at once, then mobile can get crashed. Similarly, if you try to do multiple things in your brain, then it can get crashed. That's why stop doing this. And along with that, do this last habit also, which is eating sugar. I have seen a trend. We Indians are fond of sugar. We need something sweet after food. I had a habit of eating sweets after eating food, but this sugar is poison. The sweet poison which is killing us gradually. There was a study of 2011. You can see, it tells that sugar keep weakening our cognitive functions. A study was done in 2017 on Alzheimer's, in which those who used to consume more than one sugary drinks, the volume of their brain was shrinking, due to which their memory was getting affected, and was causing many diseases. That's why reduce your sugar intake as much as possible. It would increase your energy level. There can be many improvements because of less sugar consumption. Your sleep quality and energy level can increase. This simple thing has many benefits. That's why do this also. If I tell you 3 habits, which I am going to choose for next 21 days, that is, I am going to quit information overload. I am going to quit zombie scrolling and sitting too much. I am going to focus on these 3 things in coming 21 days. You tell in comments section that which habits you would focus on in next 21 days. And after completing the challenge of 21 days, tell me in comments section that what result you got after this 21 days challenge. All the habits I have told you, like better sleep, exercise, zombie scrolling. There are multiple interesting books related to them, like how harmful the sugar is. If you want to know about that, then there is a book named Salt, Sugar and Fat, and I have made summary on it. You can watch that. There is also a video on information overload. I have made an interesting video on sleep also, about getting social, how to talk to people. I have made a video on all the habits, good book summaries. You can watch all the videos from my button in description so that they can help you apply these things in life and you don't get confused.